This presentation of the big game is made possible through the kind support of Tangipahoa Parish Tourism, your guide to the crossroads of Louisiana. North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch. Gateway Ford, Gateway gives the deal. And the Northshore Community Foundation, you can make a difference, we make it easy.
Tangipahoa Parish is home to the strawberry capital of the world and the premier destination for family fun and adventure. Whether you're looking to visit one of our historic museums, grab a bite to eat at our amazing restaurants, or attend an exciting local event, there's always something to do in Tangipahoa Parish. Tangipahoa Tourism is proud to support the Southeastern Channel in its mission to educate and inspire young media professionals right here in Tangipahoa Parish, the crossroads of Louisiana.
Drop, yo.
I think this is a great place to live, a great place to raise a family. This is just a place that we love. I think it is your responsibility to support that community that you're in. And that's something that we've always done here and something we're very proud of. Sponsoring Little League and sponsoring the high school and sponsoring the university. And I just feel like that's as much of our responsibility to be visible in the community and show that we're here and we're a part of what's going on with our neighbors and our customers.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to The Big Game. I'm Sophia Daniels alongside Nate Lacinak, and for this episode, we're going to check in on Southeastern's baseball as their practice window has opened.
We'll also take a look at how the Lions basketball team has been performing.
But first, we'll look at the Lady Lions' most recent game. With new head coach Jeff Dow, the Southeastern Lady Lions are rebuilding with a current record of 2-16. Many former Lady Lions returned to the University Center when the McNeese Cowgirls made the trip from Lake Charles on Thursday the 22nd. Here is the Big Game reporter Jalil Hutton.
The Lady Lions went up against the McNeese Cowgirls on Thursday, January 22nd in the University Center in Hammond. Former Lady Lions head coach Ailey Guzzardo, now in her first season with McNeese, made her return to Hammond after coaching the Lady Lions for 8 years. Many of the McNeese Cowgirls were former Lady Lions that transferred to McNeese along with Coach Guzzardo. Going into the first half, the Lady Lions were struggling to keep up with the Cowgirls. The Cowgirls ended up ahead of Southeastern in the first half with 47-14. Going into the second half, the Lady Lions still continued to struggle against McNeese. McNeese ended up winning against Southeastern in a blowout win with a score of 73-30. The player of the game went to Dakota Howard, going 8 for 8 in field goals and having 19 points.
With the Lady Lions losing the game 72-30, they remain in the last spot in the Southland Conference still. They will now move on to play the Lady Colonels of Nichols here in the UC on Saturday. Reporting for the Big Game, I'm Jalil Hutton.
The Lady Lions season's struggles continued in that matchup against Nichols. Despite a strong offense performance from the Lady Lions. The Colonels took the win 69-66. Coach Dow and his team's next opportunity to get some momentum will be against Stephen F. Austin.
The men's basketball team found their way back into the win column with the win against Nichols after a 4-game skid. Could they string some 2 wins together with their game against McNeese? Here's big game reporter Jules Dormain.
Southeastern hosted the McNeese Cowboys on January 27th here for their alumni night. Unfortunately for the Lions, their struggles continued in this one, dropping their 4th game in the last 5. McNeese was led by a 20-point performance from Larry Johnson, a redshirt freshman transfer from Creighton. The Cowboys had 4 total players reach double digits as both teams got into the bonus early and were at the free throw line often. Although Southeastern shot more total free throws, their lack of three-point shooting and lazy defensive effort really sealed the game in the second half. It wasn't all bad for Lions fans, as both Makai Miles and Jeremy Elize had strong performances. Miles specifically had an impressive outing with 16 points and 7 rebounds, nearing a double-double. He helped keep the game close by hitting some big threes and constantly getting to the free throw line. Both Elize and Miles are sophomores and still have their best basketball left in front of them. As for the rest of this season, the Lions are currently sitting in last in the Southland, but still have the second half of conference play to build some momentum looking towards the tournament.
It was a cold day here in Hammond, and unfortunately for basketball fans, the Lions basketball team was just as cold. After a win against Nichols on Saturday, Southeastern looked to push strong against McNeese today and ultimately fell short. McNeese's constant ball pressure and trap defense was something that Southeastern just couldn't get themselves past. Both teams shot a lot of free throws, but overall it was McNeese capitalizing at the line. Southeastern and Coach Kiefer look to get back on track against Stephen F. Austin next week. Reporting for the big game, I'm Jules Dormain.
Coming off a regular season where the Lions won the Southland, the Southeastern baseball team looks to repeat with some new additions to the team. With more on the new season ahead, here is big game reporter Adam Scheckschneider.
Here in the most southern point of Southeastern's campus is Pat Keneally Diamond, home to Lions baseball. Coming off one of the program's most successful seasons in 2025, the Lions look to keep that momentum as they head into an exciting 2026 schedule, along with some newcomers to replace the graduating seniors. One of these players the Lions picked up was shortstop Alex Perry, who was part of Tennessee's national championship run in 2024, and is one of the key players to replace the very productive shortstop TJ Salvaggio from last season. Last season's star catcher Connor O'Neill was drafted by the Dodgers in the 9th round after a great year to finish out his college baseball career. To replace his position, the Lions picked up catcher from LSU, Blaze Priester, who has a power bat with a great defensive side. On the pitching side, the Lions will rely on returning starters Lakeith Polk, Blake LaBelle, and reliever of the year turned starter Brady St. Pierre, who all have major upside, carrying the momentum from last season into this season. A tradition that started in the 2023 season was the Caleb Manuel number 18 jersey honor in memorial of his legacy here at Southeastern. Players and staff vote on one player who exemplifies what it means to be a leader and always brings energy to the team. This year, there were a lot of players to choose from, but senior Dane Watts received the most votes.
Number 18 really means the world to me. It just means a lot knowing that my peers around me, my teammates and my coaches voted for me to represent the team and lead the squad, so it means the world to me.
The past players who received the honor were Connor Manola in 2023, Christian Garcia in 2024, and Brennan Stupridge in 2025. The Lions have an exciting schedule to look forward to. They open up the season playing a very similar team in Kent State, which shapes up to be a great and defining opening series. Then right after that series, the Lions play the number 20th ranked Southern Miss, which is a huge game for the Lions and a chance to prove their spot in the Southland. Last but not least, the Lions host SEC opponent Oklahoma in March, which pans out to be another sold-out classic at Pat Kenneally Diamond.
We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to recap the national championship preview, the Super Bowl, then check in on some Pelicans basketball when the big game comes back.
Are you ready for your future? At Southeastern Louisiana University, you can explore your passions. You'll gain inspiring career experiences and personal support to build meaning for your life ahead. Our high-value degree programs and reputation for excellence make Southeastern a smart financial choice. Wherever you want to go in life, Southeastern can help you get there.
Welcome back to the big game. After the second year of the new playoff format, undefeated Indiana continued to dominate on their path to the championship. Miami fought through their side of the bracket, remaining the national of their championship. Roots for more on how the game went. Here's the big game reporter, Adam Bell.
Number 1 seed Indiana Hoosiers took on the number 10 seed Miami Hurricanes last night for the College Football Playoff National Championship at Hard Rock Stadium, the home of the Miami Hurricanes. Miami Hurricanes came into the game with one of the best fronts in college football, but that did not stop Indiana Hoosiers from starting out fast. Tight end Riley Nowakowski rushed for a 1-yard touchdown to put the Hoosiers up 10-0. But standout running back Mark Fletcher, who has been playing extremely well all playoffs, put the Hurricanes on the board with a 54-yard touchdown to make the game 7-10 in the third quarter. After a few 3-and-outs from both teams, special teams joins in the scoring as Mikael Kamara blocks the punt and linebacker Isaiah Jones recovers it for the touchdown to make the game 17-7 Indiana in the third quarter. Miami was not going down without a fight. After an impressive long drive, running back Mark Fletcher on 3rd and 1 punches it in to make the game 14-17 at the start of the fourth quarter. Indiana then goes and puts up one of the most impressive drives in championship history as wide receiver Charlie Becker on 4th and 5 makes an impressive catch to put the Indiana Hoosiers up in the red zone at the 18-yard line. Then Heisman quarterback Fernando Mendoza caps the TD off with another Heisman moment on a 12-yard run on 4th and 5 to put the Indiana Hoosiers up by 10 in the fourth. But standout freshman Malachi Toney had something to say, creating one of the most impressive drives we've ever seen in the big game by a freshman, capping it off with a 22-yard rushing touchdown to make it 21-24 late in the fourth. Charlie Becker becomes Mr. Reliable as he catches another crucial tough ball from Fernando Mendoza on 3rd and 7 for 19 yards that put the Hoosiers in striking distance to kick a field goal that made the game 27-21 Indiana late in the fourth quarter. While driving for the late game touchdown to put the Canes up, QB Carson Beck throws a critical interception that was picked by cornerback Jamari Sharp that ended the game, and Indiana wins the national championship as Coach Kirk Cignetti caps off the greatest turnaround in college football history, taking Indiana to a national championship in year 2. Reporting for the big game, I'm Adam Bell.
The NFL's biggest game of the year is almost here. There are 2 teams who have battled all season long to get a glimpse of the Lombardi Trophy. The New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks are representing the AFC and the NFC, respectively. For more on the rematch of Super Bowl 49, I took a deeper look.
NFC Championship had a matchup between 2 hard-hitting offenses going back and forth, the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. The Seahawks had the 8th best offense while the Rams had the best overall offense. These 2 teams battled twice before since they are conference opponents, with each team coming out on top. The game featured Rams MVP candidate Matthew Stafford throwing for 374 yards along with 3 touchdowns, as well as Offensive Player of the Year candidate Puka Nacua, who caught 9 receptions for 165 yards and a touchdown. On the other sideline, the Seahawks had one of the best quarterbacks in Sam Darnold, who threw for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns. They also put an Offensive Player of the Year candidate, Jackson Smith-Njigba, who caught 10 receptions for 153 yards and 1 touchdown. The Seahawks came out on top with a 31-27 win, punching their ticket to the Super Bowl. For the AFC Championship, the New England Patriots went to Mile High Stadium to play against the Denver Broncos. This game held MVP candidate Drake May, who threw for 86 yards and rushed for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. Mac Hollins was May's top target, who caught 2 receptions for 51 yards. Taking over for the injured Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham played in his first game this season, throwing for 133 yards and a touchdown. Trying to put together a game-winning drive, Stidham threw an interception which sealed the game for the Patriots, giving them their first Super Bowl appearance since 2019. Reporting for the Big Game, this is Nate Lacinak.
With the NBA season nearing the trade deadline, the New Orleans Pelicans have found themselves in a whirlwind of rumors. Despite this, the Pelicans seem to have something building with blossoming rookies Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. Here's a look at their season so far.
January 14th at the Smoothie King Center, the New Orleans Pelicans defeated the Brooklyn Nets 116-113 in a back-and-forth showdown that came down to the final minute. Brooklyn jumped out early and led by as many as 12 points in the first quarter, showing good spacing and perimeter shooting. But the Pelicans fought back, staying within the striking distance through 3 quarters and turning it into a tight fourth. New Orleans stayed patient, trusted their offense, and made the right plays that Brooklyn struggled to do in the closing minute. When it mattered most, the Pelicans were sharper down the stretch. They hold on for a win over the Nets.
Time for a break, but when we come back, we're going to wrap this show up with some local high school basketball, a busy bowl season in New Orleans and beyond, then some pick and roll. Don't go anywhere. The Big Game will be right back.
This presentation of the Big Game is made possible through the kind support of Tangipahoa Parish Tourism, your guide to the crossroads of Louisiana. North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch. Gateway Ford, Gateway gives the deal. And the Northshore Community Foundation, you can make a difference, we make it easy.
Tangipahoa Parish is home to the strawberry capital of the world and the premier destination for family fun and adventure. Whether you're looking to visit one of our historic museums, grab a bite to eat at our amazing restaurants, or attend an exciting local event, there's always something to do in Tangipahoa Parish. Tangipahoa Tourism is proud to support the Southeastern Channel in its mission to educate and inspire young media professionals right here in Tangipahoa Parish, the crossroads of Louisiana.
Drop, yo.
I think this is a great place to live, a great place to raise a family. This is just a place that we love. I think it is your responsibility to support that community that you're in. And that's something that we've always done here and something we're very proud of. Sponsoring Little League and sponsoring the high school and sponsoring the university. And I just feel like that's as much of our responsibility to be visible in the community and show that we're here and we're a part of what's going on with our neighbors and our customers.
Welcome back to the Big Game. The North Shore Panthers hosted top 10 ranked Denham Springs. The Panthers were looking to play spoiler against a Yellow Jacket team that had been on fire winning 4 of the last 5 games. Could Northshore get it done? Here's big game reporter Allie Quirk.
The Northshore High School Panthers hosted the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets in a matchup where the odds weren't in their favor. Ranked number 4 in Division I, Denham Springs entered their game with their eyes set on a district title this season after advancing to last year's state tournament. Before tip-off, Panthers head coach Carlin reflected on his team's strengths over the course of their season and primary goals heading into this tough match.
Over the course of the season, we struggled in a few different ways early, primarily handling pressure late in games. So I feel like over the last few weeks, we've shown the ability to handle pressure, minimize those turnovers, to put us in position to win games late.
The pressure for both teams was on full display for the entirety of the game. The Panthers took an early lead, giving them control for most of the night. Northshore held a 37-29 lead at halftime and never allowed the Yellow Jackets to catch up. Denham continued to close the gap throughout the second half, eventually tying the game with a score of 66 after Northshore missed a potential game winner at the buzzer, sending the game into overtime. During overtime, the teams went point for point and Denham had a chance to break yet another tied game at the buzzer, but missed the last shot, sending the game into double overtime. During the final 4 minutes, Northshore took control and sealed the victory with a final of 82-78. Seniors Tyree Spencer and Roger Williams led the Panthers offensively, each finishing the night with 24 points. Reporting for the big game, I'm Allie Quirk.
During the long winter break, our very own Lucas Hill made multiple trips to various events throughout the South, including the New Orleans and Sugar Bowl. Here's his recap of winter football.
Thing as Christmas break for me. A trip back to Mobile, Alabama for the 68 Ventures Bowl was on tap as the Louisiana Raging Cajuns took on the Delaware Blue Hens, who were finishing off their first full year as an FBS team and their first bowl appearance. In a defensive battle that saw both offenses struggle to put together big plays and consistent drives, until Blue Hens running back Joe Silver's 61-yard scamper would produce the only touchdown of the first half. The Cajuns offense would finally get 6 in the red zone on 4th and goal. Lunch Winfield's quick throw to Shelton Sampson Jr. from 8 yards out would cut the Blue Hens lead to 7. Last chance for the Cajuns to extend the game, and it would fall incomplete as the Blue Hens complete their first season in the FBS with one of the biggest wins in school history. The next week, it was back home to Louisiana, this time in the Big Easy. The New Orleans Bowl would host the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, a team that was 1-11 a season ago, facing off against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Quarterback Maverick McIver would come in for an injured Rodney Tisdale and would have the game of his life with almost 250 yards of total offense and 1 touchdown as the Hilltoppers would own the fourth quarter, cementing a 27-16 victory with a Marvis Parrish 54-yard touchdown and a key interception to cap off their 4th 9th win season of the Tyson Helton era. Back to New Orleans we go for the All-State Sugar Bowl and the College Football Playoff quarterfinal. Hammond High School native Pete Golding would notch his 2nd career win as the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. And despite the Rebels falling short of a national championship berth to the Miami Hurricanes, the former Southeastern defensive coordinator has the Rebels going and continuing where Lane Kiffin left off when he left for LSU. For the big game, I'm Lucas Hill.
It's time for some pick and roll. So, Nate, Southeastern's men's basketball has had some rough games, but past that, who do you think has been the biggest performers this season?
First guy I got to look at is Jeremy Elize, averaging 11. He's been doing great these last couple games. He's been doing wonderful, really, really well. And as well as the big guy in the back, Isaiah Gaines, averaging 11, 6.3 rebounds, making sure that he gets the ball each time it comes to him, holding on to it, making sure that we can get some offense going. Then Peter Hemschemeyer, averaging 8.5 and 2.4 assists. He's making sure that he gets that ball out. He wants that ball out. As soon as he passes it to somebody, boom, pass, bucket. That's what you see from him. He put up 18 points in the win against Nichols. Very, very, very good there. Makai Miles as well, 7.8 points averaging, and he put up 16 points in the loss to McNeese, but still 16 points, really, really well, really well.
And getting away from basketball a little bit, let's get into football. So the season ended not too long ago for the Lions, but we already have acquired many transfers. So who do you think who do you think we should look out for?
The main guy I want to look at is Cole Welliver, a quarterback transfer from New Mexico, originally from Texas and committed to UConn. Played in his first game at UConn through 4 passes, completed 2. Then he transferred to New Mexico, didn't see the field there, but now he's coming to Southeastern, back to Hammond, America. He's a 3-star recruit, former 3-star recruit. So I feel like the Lions will lean on him a lot this season, and we'll be able to use him a lot. And then, not to mention, the last guy, the most important guy on the other side of the field, Jake Dalmato. You look at him, all South on second team, 50 solo tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and 3.5 sacks. That's going to be a weapon and a monster on the defensive side of the field that Southeast is going to rely heavily on.
Right, that could really help us next season. That will do it for this episode of The Big Game. For more information on Lion Athletics, visit www.lionsports.net. And for more of us here at The Big Game, visit the southeasternchannel.com. So for Nate Lacinak and the entire Big Game crew, I'm Sophia Daniels. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.